In this session, we'll be talking about how to optimize international shipping, specifically for Amazon sellers. If you want to ship your goods and products from, for example, China directly to Amazon warehouses, this session guest, who is Burak Yolga from Forceget, which is a digital freight forwarder, he will give us a presentation how to optimize your costs, and also he can answer your questions. And this session is sponsored by three companies. It's Allsum, Zonguru, and Getida. Getida is a audit and reimbursements solution for Amazon sellers, and they can help you to get money back from Amazon, which Amazon owns to you, and you can find the link and offer below in the description. Zonguru is an all-in-one suite for Amazon sellers, very suitable for at any stage of your Amazon business. Again, Zonguru's offer in the link in the description. And finally, Allsum is a FBA aggregator created by ex-Amazonians, and they are willing to buy your brand. So if you want to sell your business, you can talk to them. And again, the contact details and the link you will find in the description. And in this video, you will also meet Lisette Lees. She co-hosts videos at Orange Click, and also she works with different Amazon brands and sellers. And finally, don't forget to click like and subscribe below this video, because now we are presenting our speaker.
Let's get ready for Burak Yolga at the KLIK Box Summit.
Hi Burak, I really hope you enjoyed your intro. Before we go to your presentation, could you please share something about your background and also tell us how Forceget helps Amazon sellers?
Of course. So my name is Burak Yolga. I'm originally from Istanbul, Turkey. I was born in Turkey, did a bachelor degree in international business in Turkey 4 years, and 1 year I did an MBA in Paris. And then I decided to go to Asia for 6 months for an internship. I was a fresh graduate and decided to 6 months internship, but then ended up staying there 7 years. That's a long story, but long story short, I'm very happy that I had that experience in Asia. Helped me to learn and experience a lot of local, the culture, language, food, and helped me to enter the business. I had a lot of experience with traveling around China, probably visited more than 40 or 50 cities, visited more than 300, 400 factories in different industries, attended and exhibited more than maybe 30 to 40 trade shows in Hong Kong, Guangzhou, Shanghai, Shenzhen, all around Asia, Korea. So it was an amazing time living in China and Asia. Well, basically, we have office in China and Hong Kong right now. Unfortunately, due to the COVID and the restrictions, I can't travel there now, but we still have a team there, and we work with Asia with these shippings. And I'm based in US right now, Miami, almost 3 years, and we have office in Miami and California, warehouse. So that's pretty much it.
Okay, very good. So can you give us a brief overview of what you will be sharing tonight in your presentation?
Of course. So basically, a lot of people, especially with Amazon sellers, especially the private labels, China has been an important market for sourcing and manufacture their own brands, making OEM, ODM, different projects. So I've done these kind of projects a lot in China for different customers. And it's very important to know the secrets of sourcing product correctly, and more importantly, how to ship them. A lot of people have different questions, with the COVID restrictions, the price is increasing a lot. Ocean freight tripled, even 4 times, 5 times more expensive than how it was before the pandemic. And so a lot of people trying to solve this problem because, their unit cost increasing a lot due to, especially people with the large units, large items, they have problems with shipping prices. So everybody's trying to, and even not on the shipping prices now with Amazon inventory restrictions, the limits, you used to send as many as quantities possible to Amazon FBA warehouses. So now Amazon doesn't want to work as a storage facility. They want to use their facility as a fulfillment centers only. So now a lot of people, they're looking for alternative solutions to manufacture products in Asia, in China or outside of China, and I ship it to the destination. Can be Europe, UK, US, Canada, store it, and then ship it to FBA as much as possible. So a lot of people are facing a lot of challenges and problems with manufacturing the products overseas, delaying the shippings, and obviously it's causing a lot of problem with the cash flow. So that's something that we're going to be talking about, giving people different tips. What is the best way to ship, how to optimize the shipping costs, what is the alternatives that they can be focusing on, especially if fourth quarter is coming, Chinese New Year is coming. So a lot of things are gray in the market right now. So I'll be trying to help sellers a little bit about to making better decision before the fourth quarter.
Okay, sounds really good and detailed. So if you're ready, then we are ready for your presentation, and we already have questions for you to answer later on as well. So we are waiting forward to that.
All right, perfect. So we will be talking about international shipping. Obviously, it is related to sourcing and other details from China, Asia. If I repeat myself too much about China, it can apply because most of the people, they will be sourcing the private labels from China, but especially after the extra duty for US market, a lot of people are also looking for alternatives to sourcing the products in India, Bangladesh, Turkey, Vietnam, Thailand, even high-tech items like Taiwan, Korea. So the details that I'll be talking about China also can apply to other markets, because the pricing and all the lack of containers is applying almost to every market. So basically, things that I'm going to be talking today is tip to optimize your supply chain, important facts to give decision about shipping from China, factories versus trading companies versus sourcing agents. A lot of people, they probably want to use factories for their productions and using the Alibaba to find a supplier. So we'll be talking about a little bit about this generally. Markets for private label products, air and sea shipments, the cost versus the timeline, what trade terms you need to use, EXW, FOB, DDP, DDU. I'll be talking about this. It's sometimes confusing for people. Amazon FBA shipment tips, how to manage inventory on Amazon, and pandemic effects on price versus availability. So tip to optimize your supply chain. It's important to understand what kind of shipping methods people are using. It's obviously more expensive to ship it by air versus sea. However, there are a lot of congestions, there are a lot of the virus situation, especially in China. There are a lot of container shortage in the market. We call it equipment shortage. So these are something people will be taking as account for making a better decision. So that's why it's very important to communicate with your supplier and your international freight company to stay on top of everything, especially before the fourth quarter. So what is more important, price, quality, or lead time, or all? Is Alibaba only the option? We will be talking about this a little bit. Negotiation in local currency, RMB, understanding the breakdown prices for your product. 4 quarters, Chinese New Year coming, probably the paper prices, box price are increasing a lot. And not only unit cost increasing due to the international shipping, but also the raw material prices in the world increasing, especially in China. And Chinese RMB is actually getting stronger versus US dollar. So it means the cost of living in China is increasing versus US dollar. So that's why things are getting more and more expensive compared to 3 to 4 years ago. So when it comes to getting the sourcing product from China or other markets, it's very important to negotiate the prices in local currency, understanding the price in local currency, because that is causing you maybe paying more or less money. So that's why it's very, very important to understand the RMB pricing in China. Be clear with your requirements with your suppliers. You need to be very, very open to your suppliers. Understand that you should not assume that your suppliers will understand everything in your head. So you need to write down things very clearly. You need to understand, you need to know that their first language is not English. So it can be a language barrier. If they don't understand you, they might not ask you again and just do the things the way they want to, or the way as much as they understood. So that's why it's very important to be clear with your requirements. Explain your quality requirements, because there are so many different materials in the market. It could be from 10 cents a box price versus $2 box price. So that's why it's very important for you to understand. I think one of the most important thing for Amazon sellers now is their cost, because the cost increasing a lot, the PPC cost increasing a lot, raw material and shipping price increasing a lot. So margins used to be way better a couple of years ago, but now it's different. It's very important to source a product to understand your quality requirements. As I mentioned, don't let the language be a barrier. You need to write down everything very clearly. You need to maybe call them, FaceTime it, WeChat, make a video call, explain the things. I'm sure a lot of people, they order the competitor products, and then make sure you really explain them well what you like most about this product and what you don't like the most about this product. So it's very important to explain everything over and over again and make sure that this is something that it's not gonna cause you delays with wrong communication, because time is really important, and it takes really time to fix the wrong communication with the suppliers. Another, I think, biggest problem now is the lead time in China and even other markets because of the raw material shortage in the market. It could be a lot of different things. Consumer electronics. I think everybody heard about the chip shortage in the world. There was a raw material like steel or other material shortage in the market, maybe 4 to 6 months. Things are getting a little bit better, but the price is increasing a lot. So that's why it's really important to place your order in advance and make sure that you create the QC checklist. And I highly recommend people to do the inspection when you place the order. Before you even make the bulk order, like before you make a big order, it's very important to send someone to factory to check whether they're capable of making your orders or not. A lot of people, they send an inspector to factory when they place the order, and before they make the shipment, they send an inspector. But most of the time, I recommend people to send an inspector before they pay the deposit to the factory, because you need to understand the pictures on Alibaba is not sometimes the real pictures of the factories. It could be trade company, it could be small company, or the production is really busy, or there's not enough QC people. There could be a lot of different problems with the factory, but you would not know that before you place the order. And every factory almost talk about themselves like they're really professional and they know everything that you're gonna ask them. They answer like really good, but it's very important to send an inspector before you put the deposit, because once you put the deposit, it's very difficult to take the money back or cancel the order. If the requirements are not clear, then you're gonna have a problem after your shipment is produced, and you're gonna be losing time and you're gonna be losing money. So that's why it's very important to have the inspection. So the important facts to give decision about shipping from China, it applies again the shipment from Turkey, India, Vietnam, Thailand. A lot of people now they are aware of price increases in China with the international shipping as well as the sourcing manufacturing products. China is getting really expensive. So a lot of people are looking for suppliers in India, Vietnam. We started to do a lot of shipments from especially India recently. A lot of people are looking for it because most of the products are tax-free. But also you need to be aware that the logistic is not developed in India as much as it did in China. And there's not that many options with small shipments. Most of the small shipments from China, we basically do door-to-door shipments as a company, because a lot of ports in US, the major ports that we work with, such as New York, Miami, Norfolk, Baltimore, or like West Coast, like Oakland, Long Beach, we have our own containers going there. So that's why we can consolidate our own shipments, and this way we can ship it door to door. So that's why it makes it like really cheap. We offer very transparent pricing per kilogram. Most of the people, I think, they heard about the DDP shipment, but they cannot be 100% sure, trust sometimes the freight companies that they work with. So that's why it's very important to understand when you make a deal with your international freight partner, you need to make sure that all the cost is included, or there can be extra cost, but like your freight forwarder inform you in advance. We have so many cases that it happened to our customers that they work with their supplier and their international freight company did not offer all the costs in one place. So that's why it's very important. At the moment, we see a lot of delays because most of the Amazon warehouses in the West Coast, people want to ship the West Coast because from China to West Coast to Auckland or Long Beach port is the quickest way to ship the products and cheaper compared to New York. For example, if you have a full container shipping from Ningbo to New York, the cost is between $23,000 to $24,000. From Ningbo to Auckland port is around $16,000 to $18,000. Depends on the carrier, depends on the time. But the price is at least 20 to 25% higher to East Coast versus West Coast. So that's why it's, if you have a small shipment, let's say 100 or 200 kilogram, maybe you can choose air shipment. I know it's a little pricey, but it goes fast, 8 to 10 days. If you ship something to West Coast, there are a lot of congestions in the ports. There are almost 30 to 40 shipping line, the vessels waiting outside of the dock to enter the port. So that's why there are a lot of delays. Normally, from China to West Coast used to be 20 to 25 days. Now we see delays up to 30 to 35 days. Some cases, if you ship it to East Coast, it might be up to 40 days. So this is something that affecting their business. So that's why it's very, very important to inform your freight forwarder at least 2 weeks before your shipment is ready. If you wait until the same week your shipment is ready, and it's going to take at least 10 to 12 days that shipment to depart. So it's going to take a lot of time, and then the last minute bookings are always more expensive. So this is the difference between sea air, courier, door to door. We do full container, door to door. We do LCL, small, less than full container. And we also do small shipments via courier. Courier is actually means a FedEx, UPS, or DHL. If you have like something less than 50 kilogram, 100 pounds, we can do courier. If it is something between, if it is something more than 50 kilogram, like 100 kilogram, we can do either sea or air shipment. So if anyone needs to get a price, we can always offer the price within 24 hours. So make sure you understand the shipping terms. It's really important to negotiate your supplier. It doesn't matter which country they're located, it's EXW or FOB or DDP or DDU. Most of the factories in China, they want to do EXW or FOB. They don't want to deal with the international shipping. That's why they offer you X work or FOB. If it is X work, it means that you're responsible of paying all the local charges, pick up from the factory in China and all the way the China seaport or airport fees, the ocean freight until the destination wherever you're shipping, either Europe, Australia, or US or Canada. FOB means the factory is responsible of the local charges of the country that you are sourcing. Where is the origin? Could be China, could be India. So that your supplier is responsible from the local charges in the country. So DDP is due to delivery paid. It's till the end of the destination, is door to door. We use it, the DDP. Most of the Amazon sellers, they don't want to deal with the destination customer, destination local transportation. So basically, we do everything door to door shipment. DDU is duty delivered without the tax, without the payment. The duty and tax. DDP include the tax and duty. So when you ship something with your own freight forwarder, make sure you ask what is included, what is not included, and you make sure that you double check that and see that you don't have any hidden costs or you don't have any surprise. Choosing a reliable freight forwarder is really important. The communication is very important. You should be able to track your shipments online. Most of the freight companies now start offering this. We also have a system. It's very important. If your inventory management is very important to see when is your departure time, when is your arrival time, when it's going to come to your warehouse or Amazon warehouse. So this way you can increase or decrease your PPC budget. You can open, close coupons. You can have a lot of different strategies. So you need to make sure that you follow up your shipments. Plan your delivery far in advance. Last minute shipping is always expensive. Yes, it's true. Because you will be trying to get the space that has not been booked, or has been booked, but you will try to get the space earlier. So that's why always freight forwarders offering a slightly higher price for the last minute bookings than the something booked in 15 days or 20 days in advance. So because we will know the scheduling, what is coming, so we'll have our shipping air or sea shipments in advance ready. So important facts to give decision about shipping from China. Make sure your products are packed properly. It's very, very important. Make sure that the product is not getting damaged, or product will not get wet, or product will not get damaged during the local transportation, international transportation. A lot of Chinese factories or international manufacturers, they might try to save costs on the outside carton box, and you might have a surprise if some of the boxes are smashed when you receive, or Amazon FBA receive, because most of the people are shipping directly to Amazon and they don't see their packages. So this way, it's very important to see, receiving the picture, receiving the videos before you start the shipping actually. So get cargo insurance. There are a lot of problems causing by UPS or FedEx or during the cargo transportation. It's very important to get the cargo insurance. So the storage limit solutions, I highly recommend people to have a 3PL warehouse in US. We have warehouses in Miami, New Jersey, and California, Tracy, close to San Francisco. It's important to have your current inventory manufactured wherever the country you do, and bring it to your local warehouse. So when you have more limits from Amazon, then you can ship it to the Amazon warehouse directly. And I even recommend a lot of people to have a backup plan with the FBM option. I know it brings more and more headache to people to have the alternative shipping way, but it's really important to stay on top of your inventory management. That makes it very important to stay on the game. So let's go back to a little bit about the sourcing part. Not always working with the factories is the best thing. Maybe the price wise can be better, but sometimes the communication with the China trade company or any trade company in the world or sourcing company can be better. So because sometimes if the factories are really big and if you have a small order, they may not be caring about you too much. But if you work with the right trading or sourcing company that they have established history with that trade history with that factory, then they can give you a better service because they already have like local contacts, or they can have a better service, a better pricing, or they know the owner of the factory. So that's why it's very important when you communicate with your contact in the local market, just ask them whether they're factory or not. And if they all tell you they're the factory, you can send an inspector and understand really if they're the factory or not. You can ask for the license of the company, so you can understand who's the registered company. You can send a business card to send. It used to be like much easier a couple of years ago to go to the destination and check the factories by yourself, but it's difficult right now. So if anybody needs an inspection in China or other countries like Vietnam or India, we can help. So this is like something you really need to understand. If the factory price always better or not, it depends. Again, if you have like small orders and if you have too much requirements, they sometimes try to give you higher price because they will be doing like more work. So basically, factories versus trading companies and sourcing agents, it's really understand what do you need from them, because not always working with the factory, it doesn't mean that you get the best price, best service. Sometimes if you have a small quantity, big customers, factory might offer you actually like higher price, and it doesn't mean that it's just gonna be cheap always. They're working with the factory directly because they are used to receiving like a big order. So if you have smaller orders, sometimes if you work with trade companies or local partners or sourcing agents, whatever you call, they might have a better communication, a better pricing from the factory. So the only way to understand that, you can always like a background check. You can get the you can always like FaceTime them, ask them to warehouse which companies they're actually manufacturing the product, like as a reference. You can send an inspection company before you place the order. You should always get the sample before the mass production, and make sure that the sample is same as the mass shipment. So that's why it's very important to have another sample ready in the your partners or your inspection company's office, so you can compare the mass shipment sample if it is same or not. Because most of the people, they have this problem. The sample is different than what they manufacture for large quantities. So, and make sure that you guys pay the balance before not before the inspection. You pay the balance after the inspections get done, because if there are some problems, this way you will make sure that you have the leverage to keep the balance payment and get the things fixed. We always ask our customers to negotiate the deposit 10 to 15% to reduce the risk, and don't rely always on Alibaba information, because sometimes the information there is not up to date, or the pictures can be wrong, or there are a lot of things, because there are like thousands of companies registered on Alibaba, but Alibaba only sends someone maybe one time, and then they don't really 100% care about the accuracy. So it cannot be, sometimes it's not 100% accurate to get the information Alibaba. So the major problem with the manufacturers, the communication, you need to make sure everything is clear with them. This is the picture of me in China a couple of years ago, that we had to relabel more than 5,000 items in the factory 2 days long because the labels were wrong. And so that was very important to have the that shows how important is the pre-inspection before the shipment. So you need to communicate well. You need to create a trust between each other. Delivery time, you need to make sure that they're offering you correct delivery time. Make sure you have the fixed expectation price issues. Check the labels, check the quality issues, open a lot of boxes, and your inspector needs to be very clear with your requirements. So hopefully you will prevent to have any problems. So some of the markets for private labels: Turkey, India, Bangladesh, Pakistan is good with the textile, non-electronic, home appliance, or some bathroom products, the textiles, the towels, bed sheets, a lot of different products. You can rely on the suppliers in these countries. Price gap between China and other countries are like closing down. East Europe, it's some people are sourcing some high-end product, design products. Vietnam, Cambodia is catching up, and I hear a lot of people now talk about South America and Mexico as a sourcing place. Some agriculture products, some food products, or because the logistics is closer and cheaper versus Far East, like to Asia. So that's why South America, a lot of people start looking into this. So the key points to pay attention for China to US shipments. It's very important to understand your cost, if everything is included or not. That's one of the problems a lot of people are facing right now when they use the factory, factory's freight forwarder. Sometimes the communication can be not the best way, because I highly recommend you to have direct contact of your international logistic company, because if you have delays or problems, the factories are cannot inform, because it's not their direct business. So you will get like bad communication if you don't know your freight company. There could be a lot of different reasons why your shipment is delayed, but the only thing you will hear is like, oh, we're checking, there's a delay because of this and that, but you may not know the correct reason. So understanding the trade terms are very important. Ex-work or FOB or DDP, DDU. Make sure that you negotiate the pricing according to the correct way. Pandemic effect on prices and availability a lot. So one of the ways to fix this problem is always getting the price in advance, not to wait the last minute, because the availability, especially the containers, is very, very low right now, especially from China to US. Even in India, the prices increase a lot. Make sure there's no hidden costs. Get the prices very transparent. We always charge our customers after their shipment departed from the origin. So this way our customer knows that there's not going to be any extra hidden costs. So that's why it's very important to have the full cost in hand before you ship, and make sure you always get an insurance for your shipment. There could be a lot of different problems with the shipment. So Amazon shipping tips, importance of stay in stock. I think everybody knows that. That's why it's in order to avoid the delays in international shipments, international logistics, make sure you have some products based in the market that you guys are selling products. It could be UK, Europe, or it could be US. Always to have some prep center and inventory, ready inventory in US, because international sea shipment used to be 25 to 30 days, maybe the top to US. Now it goes mostly 4 to 5 days, even 50 days. So that's why it's very important to have stock in the origin, whatever the destination you sell. And shipping, Amazon partner service is like extremely slow right now. A lot of LTL companies. There's a big shortage with the drivers in US market. Truck prices really increased, almost doubled. There's no availability. Most of the truck companies, they don't accept anything less than 2 weeks notice. So a lot of LTL companies, you make the appointment and then they don't show up. So that's why it's really important to choose the correct Amazon partners or third party, the shipping company. It's very, very important to choose the right partner to ship it to Amazon directly. And package, choose the right packaging. Try to make as small as possible, because the shipping price is increasing and it's going to get even worse. So when will the effects of the pandemic on international logistics end? That's a big question mark for everybody. The best scenario everybody's talking about, like middle of 2022 or end of 2022. Some people, they think that's going to go up to 2023 because of the shortage with containers, shortage of the airplanes. There are a lot of cargo planes now fully booked, but the airplanes, the airlines, they don't want to put more planes on the service because they don't know what's going to happen. It's a risk. So that's why I think the high international shipping price is going to continue at least another year or two. So that's why I think try to increase the quantity as much as possible with manufacturing, and keep it stock, keep the inventory in the local market is going to be very, very key for a lot of businesses. So the forecast, the household start spending money on goods rather than the service. The demand become way more than imports from China, and the ship and container supply was constant. Now the price increased very quickly. So end of next year, we're expecting the price is probably gonna stay the same, but hoping if the vaccination continues and no more viruses, then it's gonna be a little bit maybe better with the spending of the household. They will go back. People are gonna start going back to work, and they will be maybe spend the same money or more. But the most important thing is for the availability of the international shipping and the containers. So if we have the shortage of the container more and more, it's going to be probably stay the same place. The prices and availability is going to be the same. It's very difficult to get a container now, and the prices increased a lot. So if you guys want to know more about it, you can always go to our website and see the updated blogs. To sum up, understand your needs. Make sure you guys are negotiating the prices with your suppliers, the delivery time, decide your trade term with your supplier. Ask supplier inform you advance cargo ready date. Connect your forwarder with the factory in advance, at least 2 weeks or 3 weeks. And always compare the apple to apple. What we mean is a lot of Chinese international freight companies, they don't offer the full cost, and there could be a lot of hidden costs. So make sure you get the full cost in advance so you don't have any surprises, and ask always all in price. So if there's any questions, I'm happy to answer actually.
EZ, he says, or she. Hello, I'm trying to create my first shipping plan from India to a fulfillment center in the US, and the option for utilizing Amazon Global Logistics has disappeared. What do I do now?
It depends on their seller central. I would not know too much about the Amazon Global Logistic option because I heard a lot of different rumors about the Amazon International shipping options. Basically, what Amazon is doing is like offering a very cheap container shipments, I did not think that they have LCL shipments. I might be wrong about that because it's a different international like shipping company, basically. That's something that maybe they need to contact to the Amazon about that directly. But I know that their service is extremely slow because the way they can offer a cheap price, they have some containers that they book with the shipping lines, maybe 2-3 months in advance. The price may be 30 to 40% lower, but there's no actual estimated departure time and there's no really estimated arrival time. So when people use Amazon Global Logistics, they need to be very careful with their shipping time. I heard some people's cargo delivered within 70 days, and others like 4 months or 5 months, even it's possible. You need to be careful if you are running out of stock or if you have like small inventory. I would not rely on Amazon Global Logistics shipping time.
All right. And actually, I totally forgot to mention that this session was part of the KLIK Box series. And KLIK Box, the link to this package you will find below in the description. KLIK Box, for this package, we negotiated deals with over 20 different service providers for Amazon sellers and tool creators, software creators. And Burak is also offering something for people who are buying the KLIK Box. Can you tell us a bit more what you are offering?
Of course, we offer a free consultant service for 30 minutes. It could be about your sourcing needs. It could be your international shipping needs. So you can, I think you can find the link of our calendar for booking the appointments with us. We're happy to answer your questions about, shippings from China or shipping from India, any country in the world. If you had problems with your shipping companies, or if you have questions about the custom or local delivery, warehousing services, of course, you don't have to use our service, but if you have any questions, you can always ask us, book the time with us. And we also offer $150 international shipping credit for the first shipment. So basically, whatever your invoice value, you're gonna get $150 discount from the invoice that you receive from us. So that's only special offer for KLIK Box.
It was $300 value, not 150. So yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Perfect. So let's see another question from EZ. I used Amazon Global Logistics for my last shipment from China, and it worked out fine. So now, do I simply use an Amazon partner carrier?
Is it from China or it's within USA?
It's from China. Global Logistics. From China, and it worked out fine. So shipped from China.
I know that some people using the Amazon Global Logistics. As I said, the only issue with them, as far as I know, I never use them. Obviously, we are a freight forwarding company. We are a digital platform that people can track their shipments online, pay their bills online. Not sure they have good experience with them. Some people have bad experience. What I heard about is there's no guaranteed booking time. And right now, most of the people, they cannot deliver to Amazon directly, and Amazon Global Logistics not working to deliver to the third-party warehouse. That's another problem with the Amazon Global Logistics. If you ship it to Amazon directly, yes, you can book with Amazon Global Logistics. But if you're shipping to our warehouse or your third-party warehouse, if you have limit problems, then you cannot use them. So that's another problem with Amazon Global Logistics. But again, I never used them. We had some customer that they used it and they did not want to continue using them. The reason was they cannot ship to third party and the shipping time is not stable. A lot of people, if you produce some product, let's say $30,000, you manufacture a microphone and you don't know when your shipment is going to be delivered, nobody really wants to deal with that. Or if you have like shipment that you're not in the rush, it's okay to deliver like within 2 to 3 months or 4 months. Then a lot of people said that that's cost efficient. So it depends on what are you looking for your shipments, time or cost, or like the fast and reliable delivery. So it's everybody's decision is different, honestly.
Brandon Young, he has 2 questions. What differs you from other freight forwarders?
I would say we're very specialized on Amazon delivery, so we know how Amazon warehouses work. We have a partnership with Amazon carriers to deliver to Amazon warehouses directly. Some of the qualified shipping, some of the qualified customers, especially if they're based in US, they have a US entity, US company, we do not charge them upfront. That's one of the I think biggest way of differentiating us from other freight forwarders. Most of the Chinese freight forwarders, they charge customers upfront. And if there's any problem with the shipping or extra cost, they're trying to charge you more because you pay them in advance and you need to pay them more to get the product or delivered. So basically, we don't charge anything upfront until the product is delivered to Amazon or to our warehouse.
So let's take another question from the same viewer, which was asking previously. What should Amazon FBA sellers be careful before 2022?
It depends on whether you're a private label or if you do international shipping. I assume that this question about international shipping, I would definitely try to find unit cost with ordering the right quantity in advance. Cash flow is very, very important, I think, because there are a lot of delays with manufacturing and there are a lot of delays with international shippings. So it's very important to stay on top of the cash management and cash flow. And I think booking the space in advance and calculating the unit cost is very, very important. A lot of cost increased recently. The competition is getting more and more difficult. So that's why I think it's important to understand your inventory, your company type, your cash flow, and managing your international shipping with the right partner is very important. And never run out of inventory. I think these are the most important things, I would say.
I wanted to ask the next question we have. So let's go ahead. Should I combine air and sea transport to stay in stock during the upcoming holidays?
I think, yes, that's a really smart way to do. Let's say you have units that you want to ship and you're not sure that your shipment is going to deliver on time to Amazon by sea. I would do maybe 20 to 25% or 30% by air and the rest of it by sea. There are two ways of shipping by sea, actually. Sometimes people say slow sea and sea, like fast CDDP and slow CDDP. The reason why we say slow and fast sea, because the shipping lines like Evergreen, Zim or Maersk or Hapag-Lloyd or MSC, these shipping lines I'm talking about, especially for US market, they're using public dock in US, in Los Angeles or Oakland, for example. By shipping line, for example, Matson, they have their own private dock in US. So that's in Los Angeles. So to shipping with Matson saves at least 10 days for sea shipment. Their scheduling is more appropriate, more accurate. The service is better. Obviously, price is more expensive. If you ship with general shipping lines, the ones I mentioned, like MSC or Hapag-Lloyd or Evergreen, these are a little bit less reliable at the moment because of the congestions in the port. Then we don't know exactly when they can enter the port and when they can unload the containers. So that's why it's important to understand how fast you need to deliver it. Let's say if it is by Matson, I'm talking again to US. I apologize if we have a lot of sellers in Europe. European market is a little bit more stable with the shipping at the moment. For Europe, we have the options of train, air, and sea. I can give you like more. If you ship it by train from China to Europe, the timeline is around like 25 to 30 days. By sea, around 30 to 35 days. Air, 8 to 10 days. Door to door, I'm talking about, include everything. UK by sea is around 35 to 40 days. By air, like 8 to 10 days. Canada is really far by sea. It takes almost 45 to 50 days. US, East Coast around 30 days and West Coast around 25 to 30 days. If it is because of the congestions now, the days are almost 35 to 40 for West Coast in US. And most of the people will try to ship it to West Coast because of the time and cost. And if you use the slow sea, as I mentioned, the companies, if you use Matson, the fast sea, you can deliver between 22 to 25 days. That's very accurate. So that's why. And then the fast C is 30% more expensive, the slow C shipments. It could be a lot of information now, but if people have like more detailed questions, they can book appointment with us. We can offer free consultancy, which include the KLIK offer.
Okay, very good. And here's another one. Where can I get info about import regulations?
It depends on the market. It depends on which country you guys are talking about. If you talk about US, there's a website called HTS, I guess. It's an official US market, official US government website. For UK and Europe, there are different websites. I don't have the website on top of my head. But again, if they send us an email at sales@forceget.com, we can always help them with the regulations or import. And our customers, they don't really do the import by themselves. We do door-to-door service. So basically we can do custom clearance on behalf of our customers. So if some people, they worry about, okay, I'm going to do first-time shipping to Amazon, or I'm a good seller, I want to ship now like larger quantity, but I want to do the custom clearance by myself directly under my company name, we can always help with that. So the regulations changed according to the market, but as far as I remember for US, it's HTS. But later on, if they contact us, I can give a more link maybe.
Okay, perfect.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Burak. Again, if you want to get in touch with Burak and his team, visit forceget.com website. The email address is sales@forceget.com, right?
Correct.
What does it mean, Forceget? Why it's Forceget?
Actually, we are your force to get your stuff from one place to other place. So that's the logic.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much. And
thank you guys, and hopefully everybody had get some good information.
Thank you, and bye-bye. Good luck
Thank
in your
you.
business.
Bye.
And now I would like to invite you to watch other video from Nater Youngchild. He is talking about sales forecasting and inventory planning. I hope it will be useful. And now you know how to deal with your logistics. Now you can take care of your inventory.